Let us continue with the poem An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. I started that day and we finished half of the poem. Let us recapitulate what we have studied. Children, we studied that this poem is written by Stephen Spender, and Spender was an English poet, and he wrote this poem, Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. It has a theme of social injustice and class inequalities. Through the example of slum children, he attacks those who are exploiting the weaker sections of the society. Very fast I am reading the text just to recapitulate and help you out with the text, acquaintance with the text. Some of you, those who still don't have the book, please listen to it and try to open your book before you when the class is taken. Far, far from the gusty waves, these children's faces, like rootless weeds, the hair toned round their pallor. The tall girl with her weighed down hat, the paper-seeming boy with rat's eyes, the stunted, unlucky heir of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease. His lesson from his desk, at back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young. His eyes live in a dream of his squirrel's grain, in tree room other than this. On sour cream walls, donations, Shakespeare's head, cloudless at dawn, civilized doom, riding all cities, belled, flowery, Trivoli's valley, open-handed map, awarding the world its world. And yet, for these children, these windows, not this map, their world, were all their futures painted with a fog. A narrow street sealed in with a lead sky, far, far from rivers, capes and stars of words. Surely Shakespeare is wicked. The map a bad example, with ships and suns and love tempting them to steal, for lives that slyly turn to the cramped holes, from fog to endless night. On their slack heap, these children wear skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel, with mended glass, like wattle bits on stone. All of the time and space are foggy slum, so blot their maps with slums as big as doom. Unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map becomes their window, and these windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs break, oh break open, till they break the town and show the children to green fields and make their world run azure on gold sands, and let their tongues run naked into books, the white and green leaves open, history theirs whose language is the sun. If I sum up the first two stanza, children, we studied that the children, their faces, children who live in the slum dwellings, their faces are like weeds, and their hair on the faces, they are unkempt, they are scattered. The poet has compared such type of faces with the wild plants as if they are taken out from their roots. Then we studied that their unkempt hair looks like rootless weeds on their pale faces. Unlike other school children who are usually energetic and full of life, these children seem withered and lifeless. The children of the slum are also unwanted in society, just as weeds are unwanted in garden. Then we also studied the tall girl sitting in the room in the class is very depressed. She keeps her head down, being burdened by sad thoughts. Now she is physically and mentally exhausted because of poverty. Then other students are not in better position either. Just like the girl who is overburdened with the problems in her life, the boy sitting in the class who is as thin as paper. We studied this all. Then we also studied in the second stanza that the classroom environment, the walls of the classroom are pale and dirty, and they give a rather unpleasant feeling. And on the walls are displayed the names of people who have given donations. There is a picture of Shakespeare on the wall. The picture of domes of big cities represent the quality of life in those cities. Then we also studied that there is the picture of Trialis Valley, the world map which is divided into countries. We also studied that these such type of pictures have no meaning for the impoverished children, because the world depicted on these walls is not the world of these children. Their world does not contain huge dooms. The world does not contain huge dooms or prosperity or the scenic beauty presented in the picture. The world is painted with fog, the fog of hopelessness and hunger. Their future is grim and unclean and sealed with a dark and dull sky. We also studied that the poet says that their world is far away from the actual world of rivers and caves. These things are like stars in the sky which they cannot touch. They are beyond, it is beyond their imagination. Now let us come to the explanation of this stanza. That this particular stanza which I am taking, surely Shakespeare is wicked, the map a bad example, with ships and sun and love tempting them to steal, for lives that slyly turn in the cramped holes. From fog to endless night, on that slack heap these children wear skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel, with mended glass like bottle bits on stones. All of the time and space are foggy slum. So blot their map with slums as big as doom. Now children, let me tell you the meaning of some words. Here is the meaning of some words. Shakespeare is wicked, the map a bad example. Why is the map a bad example? Because this map has no meaning for the children. Map a bad example. Now some words, let me tell you. Surely means definitely, and surely Shakespeare is wicked. Surely means definitely. Please write the word meaning or in the book. Then wicked means not good or noble. Not good or noble. Tempting, enticing. E-N-T-I-C-I-N-G. To steal means to steal away those comforts and run away secretly. Whose comfort is stolen away? The children who are living in the slums. Then holes means, holes you understand, मांद जिसे कहते हैं, endless, without any end. Slag means waste material. Heap means pile. Peep through means emerging. Then spectacle means eyeglasses. Then bits means pieces. I hope all of you are able to write. If I am fast, please tell me. I will be a bit slower, or you can ask me separately also. Foggy means full of fog. Slum, dirty settlement. Blot, blemish. Their maps, maps with places for the rich. Doom means ruin. Now I will explain you. The poet calls the portrait of Shakespeare as wicked, because it is meaningless for children going to a slum school. I'll give you an example. A person who is an illiterate person, if I give him the book of ABCD, a person who is very illiterate doesn't know what is the importance of ABCD, and if I give him the book, you go through this, until and unless that person is guided, that book of ABCD or book of some rhymes is of no use. Same is the case here. Children who belong to slum, who are very poor, for them the portrait of Shakespeare is of no use. That is why it is called as Shakespeare is wicked, meaningless for children going to slum school. And in this type of school, the poet says that no proper education is not given to them. The poet says that children will never be able to study here, learn something here about Shakespeare's work. And he says that the map which is hung on the wall is also meaningless for them. The classroom is the whole world for them. There is no world beyond their poverty, hunger and hopelessness. Mean to say that one who is poor, hunger is gleaming in the eye of a person, or one who is in tattered clothes, we cannot expect that these such type of children in a natural way, if they will be, until and unless their problems are paid heed to, they will be able to do something, they will be able to improve their condition, because these are the basic necessities of life. So what does the poet say? There is no world beyond their poverty, hunger and hopelessness. So these maps are unreal for the children. Maps are अनरियल. अब एक उदाहरण से आपको समझाऊं. एक छोटा बच्चा है, वो टॉय मांगता है, उसको इंजन चाहिए, कार चाहिए, उसकी दुनिया उतने तक है. अब छोटे बच्चों को अगर आप रियल में कार लाके खड़ी कर देंगे, मैं बहुत सटीक एग्जांपल दे रही हूँ आपको. छोटे बच्चा कहेगा, एक 5 इयर्स का टॉडलर या 3 इयर्स का टॉडलर, उसको कार चाहिए, टीवी में एडवर्टाइजमेंट देख के, और माँ बाप कहेंगे बेटा तेरे को ओरिजिनल कार दे देते हैं, तो क्या उसकी संतुष्टि होगी? ओरिजिनल कार से नहीं होगी, क्योंकि उसका वर्ल्ड तो उतने तक सीमित है, इसलिए वो उसको वही वाला टॉय वाला कार चाहिए. तो इसी तरह से जिसकी जो डिमांड है उसको पॉवर्टी में उसको वो फुलफिल होनी चाहिए. अब ऐसे बच्चों को पोएट कहता है कि हम क्लासरूम में एनवायरनमेंट देंगे, हम उनको शिक्षा देने की कोशिश करेंगे, हम उनको टीचिंग एड्स दिखाने की कोशिश करेंगे, हम उनको जो है किताबें, कॉपी, बुक्स और बहुत सारे एफर्ट्स भी कर देंगे, तो भी इनके लिए कोई मीनिंग नहीं, क्योंकि बेसिक एमिनिटीज़ ये फुलफिल नहीं है. सो आई कम टू द पॉइंट अगेन. सो दीज मैप्स आर अनरियल फॉर दीज चिल्ड्रन. द ब्यूटिफुल वर्ल्ड विच इज़ ऑफरिंग with its offering like the sun, ships, love and care only tempt them to steal because they cannot have all these worldly things. जो भी चीज़ ब्यूटीफुल चीज़ें देखते हैं ये दुनिया में, इनको ये आकर्षित होते हैं, पर ये रियलिटी में अपने लाइफ में ये चीज़ें इनका हिस्सा नहीं बन सकती. They live in cramped holes like hutments and there is no end to their misery. There is a perpetual state of gloom, hunger and despair. Now further the poet says their bodies look like garbage heaps. Their bodies look like garbage heaps. They are very skinny and their bones are peeping out of their skin. अब physical condition poet उनकी बात करता है. The state of poverty is further intensified by the fact that the glasses which these children wear are cracked and look like broken pieces of a bottle. बच्चों, इसको हम ये भी कह सकते हैं कि जीवन जीने का एक नज़रिया. गरीब के लिए अगर उसके पास एक कमरे का पक्का मकान है या तो उसके लिए एक अचीवमेंट है. अब वही बात हम अगर एक रईस के लिए अप्लाई करें तो उसके लिए एक कमरे का पक्का मकान है तो वो कहेगा कि नहीं, मेरी तो रिक्वायरमेंट फुलफ़िल नहीं होती, मुझे तो अभी 3 कमरे का घर बनाना पड़ेगा. गरीबी क्या होती है पोएट ने ये भी बताया है. ऐसे बच्चों को पढ़ाया जाए, उसका कॉन्सिक्वेंस क्या हो सकता है, कितना हम सक्सेसफुल हो सकते हैं. एक्चुअली poet wants that there should be equality in society. Society में equality होना चाहिए. चलते हैं हम अपने point की तरफ. Poverty, these children are poor and they wear glasses which are cracked. They look like the broken pieces of the bottle. Now what the poet says is further, let me tell you, all of their life is destroyed here in the slum. And the slums are a blot on the people who are civilized in the society. जो गरीब लोग हैं वो धनाढ्य परिवार के ऊपर एक धब्बा है. क्यों धब्बा है? क्योंकि हमने पोएट बात वहीं पहुंच रही हूँ मैं कि उन्होंने इनइक्वालिटी की बात करी. अब हमने उनको समानता नहीं दी, तभी आज वो इतने सफरर है, वर्स्ट सफरर है. दे आर द वीकर सेक्शंस ऑफ द सोसाइटी. So the poet says that their life is full of this thing. Their future is bleak. Their life is full of darkness, and there is no hope. Now the last stanza covers up all 3 points, and the poet yearns. He requests the social institutions to come forward and improve the condition of the poor. Now let me start with the next stanza. Unless governors, inspector, visitors, this map becomes their window. Unless governors, inspector, visitors, this map becomes their window, and these windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs break, open till they break the town, and show the children to green fields, and make their world run azure on gold sands, and let their tongues run naked into books. The white and green leaves open, history theirs whose language is the sun. Now what the poet says here? He says that these such type of children will continue to suffer. Till when? Till the governors, till the officials, till the educationalists who visit the school, they come forward to help them, to aid them. The poet wants to bridge the gap between the civilized and the uncivilized. He wants that the uncivilized should also be civilized. Their condition should also be enhanced. The poet wants the civilized world to bridge the gap between them. They should offer these children a glimpse of a better world, so that the map becomes their window to the beautiful and charming world outside. Then he says, these windows of the elementary school classroom, which confine all their hopes and dreams, must be broken, so that these children can be brought out in the green fields, away from dirty surroundings. And then what the poet desires, that children should be allowed to run freely on the golden sand under a clear sky. That is, they make progress. They should be given quality education. The poet feels that education can help them greatly, because according to him, history is written by those whose language has the warmth and energy of the sun. Means those who are educated, those who are literate, only such people can make history. This is what the idea. Further, I would like to elaborate history whose language is the sun. Means only educated people, only the section of society who are given education, they will be able to write, who are literate in other words, they will be able to write history. Means they will be able to do such tasks where their name is written in the history. This is what the idea. And children, if you have any problem, you can ask. Thank you.